Hi, it's Carrie from Classic Cottage Art and Antiques in Bowling Green, Virginia. And here today I'm going to show you how to use the new Dixie Belle Bells and Whistles transfers. My name is Carrie and I'm owner at Classic Cottage Art and Antiques in Bowling Green, Virginia. And I love to help and encourage people to make beautiful jewelry, paint beautiful furniture, and make beautiful home decor items. But let's talk about this transfer right now. Today I'm going to use the Cacti and Succulents transfer, but I have, if you can see, all of these, lots of cool designs, but I just happen to, for some reason, gravitate toward this Cacti and Succulent one. So here's what I've done. So the first thing I've done is I've painted this board. I'm going to make a riser out of it. So I painted this board. I used the coffee bean color from Dixie Belle, and this is the back. I always like to finish the backs. I've used the coffee bean color, and then I've done a farmhouse finish on the top in Fluff. And I'm going to take our finishing pad. I'm just going to kind of wipe over it to kind of smooth it out just a little bit. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it'll knock down what I call the fuzzies. From when wood gets wet, it raises the grain. So today I'm going to use, like I said, the Cacti and Succulents transfer. Yep, that's what it's called. And each transfer from the new Bells and Whistles line from Dixie Belle comes with several sheets. This one has, I think it's 6 sheets, and I've already used some on other projects. But I just want to show you just how super duper easy it is to do. I've already cut some out. These are some of the ones that I'm looking at doing. If you've never used a transfer before, you're going to find it so easy, and it's so much fun, and it's just kind of, you don't have to think about it too much. But it comes with a backing sheet, and then of course your transfer is attached to this top sheet here. So you're going to want to pull it away, and you're going to decide where you're going to put this, and I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Let's maybe do this. I don't know. I'm going to do it so I can see it. The cool thing is, I'll turn it around. You'll be able to go over the corners, which is what I usually like to do. Now make sure when you do this, you don't stick it where you don't want it, because it grabs on really quickly. The other thing I want to tell you is make sure that your paint is not got a clear coat on it. This is just straight paint. I did leave it overnight, and a lot of times I'll do that if I'm going to apply a transfer. I will leave it overnight to make sure it's completely dry before I apply my transfer. So I'm going to put it in here, on here, and I'm going to kind of press out from the edges here, the edges here, and I'll go back and do that one. And basically it comes with this little tool. It's a nice sturdy stick to transfer the picture onto your project. So, and all you're going to do is rub. I mean, how easy can that be? Now every once in a while I'm going to pick it up and make sure, and see it's still, you can still see, it's still attached to the top sheet. So I'm going to make sure, and sometimes you'll have to do it a little bit, you'll have to rub a little bit harder than others. But basically this is all there is to it. But you can use these to add all kinds of different detail. Okay, here we go. All kinds of different detail to furniture, or in my case, home decor items. Can you see that right there? And you'll also see, I don't know if you can see really well or not, but it's starting to have a little bit of a different color here. The lighting might mess that up. But you can see where it's coming off onto my piece here. Do it this way so you can see it. Check this out. It's coming off. See? It's getting there. Painting. See, we're coming along here. Now Now I'm continuing to see how you can do this over the corner. I'm talking and doing two things at one time. But you can go around a corner with these transfers. Check this out. Let's put this one on here. So, we're almost done with our little riser here. It's coming along. Check it out. I think that's beautiful. Now what you're going to do once you finish getting your transfers all applied is I like to take this burnishing pad here and go over them just to make sure they're down. You know, I might have missed a spot, especially on the sides here. And it also, on darker colors or maybe a halo around there, this helps to alleviate that as well. So you want to make sure it's down really, really well. Do this one like so. Got a little bit of a mess up there, but that's okay. This is kind of farmhouse. The other thing you can do if you want is to take some sandpaper and rough these up so they don't look quite as new, if you want to make this kind of a rustic project. And there you go. And what I will do is I will put my little feet on here. I might even do the little farmhouse finish on these. I will glue my feet on, and I will have a cute little, obviously I will glue them on evenly, and I will have a cute little riser. So there you go. Hey, and I realized yesterday when I got home that I had forgotten to tell you how to finish the riser that we started yesterday. So I thought I'd take a real quick minute and show you how to finish it. Okay, so if you remember, we started on this riser and we applied the transfers. Well, I remember I started with the coffee bean color paint on the whole thing, put a white coat on top to create a farmhouse finish. Then I applied transfers, the new Dixie Belle Bells and Whistles transfers, and I did the Cacti and Succulent one because I just happened to like this one. We have several other designs in the store. And then, once we applied the transfers, I burnished them on really, really well. And I even got a little crazy because I didn't want it exactly perfect. And this morning I decided to add a few more. Isn't this beautiful how you can actually build up? You don't have to put just one or two, you can build up. That's the beauty of these transfers that Dixie Belle has. There's a lot of different designs on them that you can just build and make up your own design. So that I realized I'd forgotten to show you how to finish it. I'm burnishing it down. Normally I will leave these overnight to dry. I mean, to dry, but to make sure they're down really, really well. These three here I just applied this morning. I thought, well, let me just give it a try. So you've got three options to finish off your little riser here. I always like to put some kind of a sealer over transfers just because they're kind of delicate, and they could rub off over time. So I'm going to use Dixie Belle Satin Clear Coat. You could also use wax, Dixie Belle Best Staying Wax. You could also use the Easy Peasy Spray Wax. The brand ambassadors and other retailers don't recommend using the Dixie Belle Gator Hide over this because it could bubble your transfers. But if you apply a coat of the Satin Clear Coat and then the Gator Hide, I think that would probably work fine if you need this in a damp area. But today I'm going to apply the Satin Clear Coat, and I've actually put it in a paper plate because that's the way I like to do this. You can do this with a brush if you like. I prefer a sponge. This is a Dollar Tree sponge. Always, if you use one of these sponges, make sure you rinse it out real good before you use it, or this little green stuff will be all in your finish. But I like to use it damp. I'm going to give it a spray with my spray bottle here. And then I'm just going to dab it in there. And you can use the blue sponges that Dixie Belle has as well for this. I just had this handy. It's already used. I'm not getting a whole lot on there, you see? And it's just as simple as this. And what you don't want to do, anytime you apply clear coat, don't go back and forth over it. It's going to make it streaky. Again, just a little bit on there. Gonna kind of overlap just slightly. And da-da-da-da, then we're done. I'm gonna go around the sides. Maybe I can get hold of it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this dry for a little while, probably 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'll apply a second coat, which is great. For my little legs here, I'm gonna go back and do the farmhouse finish, I think, on these, but I was gonna tell you a really good glue to use for this. You can use wood glue, but I also like to use the Weld Bond glue. It's good for wood, glass, fabric, pretty much anything. But this is my go-to glue, and I'll use that to put the little feet on. But you definitely want to seal these transfers so that they don't rub off and wear off. And if you see a little blob right there, if it's a real big blob, kind of gently go back. But you're probably going to need at least 2 coats, and it might get streaky if you go back and forth over it like so. Just make sure you go once and leave it. The other thing I forgot to mention yesterday when I was doing this is I did actually apply a coat of the Dixie Belle Boss in clear. This was a pine board, and I didn't want it to bleed through this color. Even though I've got the dark coffee bean all over it, I didn't want to take a chance on it bleeding through. I hope that you enjoyed this creative craft today. Finishing up our riser, just putting a clear coat on top of it, and I'll see you the next time. Have a great day. Bye.